Right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today is Saturday, April 26, 2025. And of course, it's time for another sports talk right here on the family station. Okay. If this thing, okay. There we go. Um, right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. You can join me on Facebook and on YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. And also, you can send me a WhatsApp if you'd like to join into the conversation. 99733125. Of course, um, there is so many things going on. We would have concluded the Carifta games would have concluded earlier this week on Monday. The team was in Trinidad and Tobago, and of course, some of our athletes they didn't come back home. They some of them are now in Philadelphia at the Penn Relays happening at the University of Pennsylvania. Right. So that's going on. Well, it ends today. So we'll talk about some of the achievements of some of the local high school, high schoolers, whether track or on the field. Of course, we'll give you a recap and some thoughts as it relates to Carifta Games 2025. NBA playoffs currently going on as well. English Premier League, we've now confirmed this morning that those three teams, I'll tell you the three teams that will be relegated from Premier League. And we know that it's still tough going in the Jamaica Premier League. Two teams battling to get to the playoffs, whilst there are few teams, maybe three teams who are trying to stay at top in terms of not being relegated, but for sure, one out of those three teams will be relegated. So I have all that and more coming up as it relates to Sports Talk today. Of course, you can also join Sports Talk on your phone, right? So on the Google Play Store, you can download the Love 101 FM Jamaica app in the App Store or in the Google Play Store. Yes? All right. Fantastic. Let's go. All right. So we're going to start off with what's happening with the English Premier League. As we try to do, we start the English Premier League and then we come to our local league so I can, spend more time on the local leagues. First of all, I am a happy camper. You know how I knew this weekend rather was gonna go well? I knew because I got up this morning to watch Diamond League. Yes, we're also gonna talk about Diamond League. Diamond League happened in, I'm gonna say, China. I don't remember the city number. Yeah, was was in China, so it had to be pretty early. Yeah, I had to get up pretty early for that. But I also got up early to watch Chelsea win against Everton, and I'm so happy. So I know based on Chelsea winning that my weekend is gonna go well for sure. Since, woke up this morning and I watched Chelsea, I'm like, yeah, man, I feel like it's going to be a good weekend. I feel like it's going to be a good weekend. Anyways, we are now in round number 34 of the English Premier League. So let's just do a look back. Last week when we spoke, which would have been on the 19th, right? We told you about some games that would have come up. So let's talk about the results. From week number 33 coming into week 34. All right, so on Sunday, Chelsea would have defeated Fulham 2-1. Arsenal defeated Ipswich. They would have won 4-love of Ipswich, ending that game with 10 men. Wolves would have defeated Manchester United 1-love, and Liverpool were 1-love winners over Leicester, while Nottingham Forest defeated Tottenham 2-1. That game actually happened on Monday. All right, so now starting round number 34. Round number 34 would have begun on Tuesday with Manchester City defeating Leon Bailey's Aston Villa 2-1. Arsenal and Crystal Palace, they played to a 2-all draw. That would have happened on Wednesday. And then this morning, continuing, Chelsea would have won 1-love over Everton. Fulham 2-1 winners over Southampton. Wolves were 3-love winners over Leicester, which confirms, I believe, well, not that well. Leicester was going down, so let's skip to the other result. Brighton, they were 3-2 winners over West Ham, and Newcastle defeated Ipswich 3-love, confirms that Ipswich will be relegated from the English Premier League. Now the game's coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow, Bournemouth will play Manchester United, Liverpool will play Tottenham, and a point for Liverpool will see Liverpool securing the title. All right. And then on Thursday, to close out round number 34, Nottingham Forest, they will play Brentford. All right, so let's go to the standings. So Liverpool is on top of the standings. As I said, they just need 1 point against Tottenham tomorrow to secure the title. Arsenal, they're in second on 67 points. Newcastle, third on 62 points. Manchester City, they're in fourth on 61 points. Chelsea, they're in fifth on 60 points. And Nottingham Forest, they're in sixth on 60 points, just the same as Chelsea. Chelsea, of course, having a better goal difference. And Newcastle, they're in seventh on 57. Sorry, Aston Villa, they're in seventh on 57 points. All right, down to the teams that have been relegated from the English Premier League. Can confirm Ipswich with 21 points right now after 34 games. Leicester City with 18 points after 34 games, and Southampton with 11 points from 34 games will all be relegated from the English Premier League. And they will go play championship football, and will hope that they are able to, rise again for come back into the Premier League in the 2026-2027 championship. Yeah, so yeah, that's what's going on for that. All right, let's now skip over to the Jamaica Premier League. Just gonna, what's going on in the Jamaica Premier League, because boy, can I tell you, things are heating up. Things have gotten very interesting in the Jamaica Premier League. And as I encouraged you last week, if you weren't watching any local football before, yeah man, now now would be a good time. Now would be a good time. Excellent time. Excellent time to be keeping up what's going on with the Jamaica Premier League. All right, let's look back on the results from last week in the Jamaica Premier League. Malines United, they were 3-1 winners over Racing. Humber Lion and Dumbeholding, they played to a 1-0 draw. Tivoli Gardens, they defeated Harborview 2-1. Portmore, they lost to Waterhouse 2-love. Mount Pleasant, they were also 2-love winners over Montego Bay United. Cavalier, same margin, 2-love over Chapelton Maroons. Arnett Gardens, they defeated Ver United 3-1, while Cavalier, they played Mount Pleasant and defeated Mount Pleasant 2-1. Of course, Cavalier is also trying to make up back for those games that they would have played when they were participating in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. So that is why you might have them playing twice, Cavalier playing twice per week. But let's look at the standings and let's tell you what's going on. So we by now know that Mount Pleasant, Montego Bay, Arnett Gardens, Cavalier, and Portmore United have all right now qualified for the playoffs in the Jamaica Premier League. Now, Montego Bay United and Arnett Gardens, they are still battling it out. I think 2 more games left for the season. Still battling out to see who is going to finish second and finishing, because we know that Mount Pleasant will finish at top of the standings, and I would have said that from last week. No, it's who's going to join them in second place. No, the teams that finish first and second in the league, they have a automatic qualification to the semifinals, right? So it means that they won't play the first round of the playoffs. All right, so that's what's going on right there. In the middle of the table, we still have Waterhouse and Tivoli Gardens going at it. And of course, these two teams, they will play tomorrow. So tomorrow's game between Waterhouse and Tivoli Gardens is going to be very interesting because currently Waterhouse, they're in the sixth position, that prize position to qualify for the playoffs. They are 55 points, and Tivoli Gardens is just a point adrift on 54 points. However, if Waterhouse and Tivoli Gardens are to end up on the same number of points, Tivoli Gardens currently has a 15 goal better goal difference than Waterhouse. So that should be very, if goal difference comes into place, that should be comes into play, that should be very, 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 very interesting to see what will happen there. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna watch that keen battle happening between Waterhouse and Tivoli Gardens. As I said, it's only 2 more games left for the season, so let's see what will happen. Yeah. Okay. So down to the bottom of the league now. Humber Lion, this is the relegation battle that is going on, and actually it's more than who I thought. Okay, so it is from 9th to 13th. So Mullines United, they're in 9th on 35 points. Dunbeholden, they're in 10th on 34. Harborview is in 11th on 33. Chapelton Maroons, they're in 12th on 33, and Humber Lion, they're in 13th on 33. Now with 2 games to go, any 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any of these teams could be relegated. So all of these teams will have their hearts to play out, and I will tell you the games that will be played so you can see how interesting these matches this week will be. All right, so the games coming up this week will be Montego Bay, they will play Cavalier. Mount Pleasant will play Mullines United. Waterhouse plays Arnett Gardens. Dunbeholden, they play Portmore United. Harborview, they play Vere. Chapelton, they'll play Tivoli. And Racing, they will play Humber Lion. So, there are teams that are fighting to stay atop, that they're going to be playing each other. So, those games should be very, very interesting. And of course, we'll keep you posted going into next weekend, which is next week will be the final set of games in the Jamaica Premier League, and then we'll go to the playoffs. We'll have like a 2-week break, and then we'll go to the playoffs after that. So, as I said, there are teams that are looking to stay afloat in the Jamaica Premier League, and then there are teams who and there are also teams who they have qualified teams looking to stay afloat. It's so many things. It is so many things happening in the Jamaica Premier League. Very interesting end to the season. I really didn't think that the season was going to, be so close. Some of these teams and where they are and where they fall, etc., etc. But so we continue to watch that and see, those 5 teams, which ones stay up, and out of Waterhouse and Tivoli Gardens, which of those 2 teams will qualify for the playoffs. We're going to go for our first break right here on Sports Talk. We'll be right back. Yeah.
every day. We use our feet to walk, run, and take us to amazing places. But your feet can do something even more amazing. A simple step can change a life. Join Guardian Group's Shine 5K Night Run, formerly the Keep It Alive 5K, and make us try to support the Noel Holmes Hospital, the Bustamante Hospital for Children, and Project Star. Saturday, May 10 in Kingston and Saturday, May 24 in Montego Bay. New name, but same epic vibe. Register today at run2shineja.com or runningeventsja.com and see you at Shine 2025.
The largest gathering of the youths in the New Testament Church of God on April 25 to 26 will be the 26th staging of the National Youth Congress under the theme Solid Roots Nurturing 5G Youths. Join us as we celebrate 100 years as a church. Come out on Saturday, April 26 for the Ignite Worship Fest at 5:30 p.m. Hear the ministry of Kevin Downswell, Rhoda Isabella, Prince Saj, John Mark Wigan
at the National Convention Center at Rodenspin, Old Harbor.
Come for the fun, the fellowship, sports, and worship.
Thank God for Calvary. Thank Him for
Hearts and Hands invites you to a fundraising concert for Reverend Glenn Graham. He has given us songs that have kept us going through the years.
when you run from the preacher man. 6 men.
And now it's our turn to lend a helping hand. Join us on Sunday, April 27 at 6 p.m. at the Maypen New Testament Church of God for this fundraising venture.
I've got a happiness in my soul.
Come and see Lubert Levy, Fabian Wright, Sebastian Graham, Prince Hall, Glenn Cruz, Zazan, Venetia Stone, Oliver Ashley, Derek McFarlane, Tarshia Williams, Edwin Myers, Mr. Handsome, and more. MCs Nadine Blair and Markland Edwards. Admission, a love offering of $2,000. It's the fundraising concert to help our brother, Reverend Glenn Graham. Sunday, April 27 at 6 p.m. at the Maypen New Testament Church of God. All of us, for one of us. Let's do this. See you there.
A Love 101 endorsed event.
Yes, I believe in hope for a better.
All right, welcome back to the family. Welcome back to Sports Talk on the family station, Love 101 FM. All right, so we're still sticking with some football. We're going to be talking about the Jamaica Women's Premier League and the games that are on today for the Jamaica Women's Premier League. We're also going to be giving you the results from last week's games. Right. Okay, so let's do the results first, and then we'll do the results first, and then we'll go to the games that are to come today. Of course, the Jamaica Women's Premier League. If you'd like to catch any of the games, they do have the games of the Jamaica Women's Premier League. Those games are streamed on YouTube, right? Those games are streamed. Those games are streamed on YouTube. All right. So let's just give you the games for today. I was hoping to give you the results from last week, but it's not loading, so let's move on. All right, so today, Proven Girls, they will play Los Perfectas, and that will happen at the York Sports Complex. Actually, that game kicked off at 1:30, will kick off at 1:30. It's now 1:20, so that game will kick off at 1:30. At 3:30, Cavalier, they will play Fraser's Whip at 3:30. Yui women will play Springers United. That's also 3:30 kickoff at the UA Mona Bowl. Arnett Gardens, they play Wi-Fi United at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. And Mile Gully will play Federal United at the Mile Gully Community Center Of course, all these games except for the first game, Proven versus Los Perfectos, that one will kick off at 1:30, but the others, those will kick off at 3:30. And as I said before, if you'd like to catch any other games in the Jamaica Women's Premier League, if you are not able to join them in person, I know the games are streamed on their YouTube page, Jamaica Women's Premier League. So you might want to check that out to see, what our local talent is as it relates to women's football. All right, cool. Switching right from football right over to some basketball. Of course, the NBA playoffs is on, and really and truly, I never asked. I didn't ask. I didn't ask which team are you guys supporting. I don't like to ask this question, because I know some people are going to come for me. I'm not saying anything about that particular player today. I'm just saying some people just have it out for me, because I have said that I cannot support a particular team if a particular player is playing for that team. But it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't. It absolutely does not matter. J- Oh, Carolyn is saying that she was sad to see Jimmy Buckets, or Jimmy Butler, for those who know, and Jamarant. Jamarant got injured as well. Yeah, yeah. This is the part I don't like about sports. Just the thought that you could be okay and you could just be going for a ball. You could, like, the way how it is that you pick up injuries, especially like in these non-contact sport, because I mean basketball is technically a contact-ish sport, but yeah, debatable. But the way how you can pick up injuries is like sometimes it is absolutely no fault of yours. Absolutely no fault of yours. And but I hate to see, especially now at the business end of the season, when the you know persons get, what you call it, injured. I really don't like to see it. It really breaks my heart, honestly. It does, because I love for everybody to come and put their best foot forward. And I feel like, when people get injured and then the coach have to figure out another way to right, another way to get the team going, or to make another plan. It's so hard. Anyways, let's go back through some results that happened in the playoffs so far. Will I get through all of it? All right, let's go through all of this. So we're still in the first round of the playoffs, and I will give you the results of the games that would have happened between last weekend, all right? So the first game that kicked off the playoffs was the Pacers versus Bucks. Pacers, they won that first game 117-98. Then the Nuggets defeated Clippers 112-110. Knicks defeated Pistons 123-112. The Lakers, they went down 117-95 to the Timberwolves. Orlando Thunder, or Oklahoma Thunder rather, they defeated the Memphis Grizzlies 131-80. Boston Celtic, they were 103-86 winners over Magic. Cavaliers, they were 121-100 winners over Heat. And then the Golden State Warriors defeated the Rockets 95-85. Then that was game one. Game two of the series, so we will start back. The Pistons, they defeated the Knicks 100-94. Clippers defeated Nuggets 105-102. Pacers defeated Bucks 123-115. Thunder defeated Grizzlies 118-99. Lakers defeated Timberwolves 94-85. Celtics, they were 109-100 winners over the Magic. Cavalier, they were 121-112 winners over the Heat. Rockets, they were 109-94 winners over the Warriors. and then we started again. So these games now would have been game 3 in the series, right? So the Knicks would have defeated the Pistons 118 to 116. So currently in that series, the Knicks are leading that series 2-1. Then in the series with the Thunder and the Grizzlies, the Thunder is currently leading that series 3-love, having defeated the Grizzlies 114 to 108. And that would have been on Thursday. All right. Then the Clippers versus the Nuggets. Currently, the Clippers, they're leading the Nuggets 2-1 in that series, and that would have happened after the Clippers on Thursday would have defeated the Nuggets 117 to 83. Then the Magic versus the Celtics. Currently, Celtics, they lead 2-1 in that series. Last night, the Magic would have defeated the Celtics 95 to 93. Celtics threw away that game, if you ask me. But, let's just make the series interesting, right? Right. Pacers versus Bucks. Pacers, they are leading that series 2-1. Have the Bucks trying to stay alive in the series by winning a game last night 117 to 101. And then the Timberwolves, they would have defeated the Lakers last night 116 to 104. I know Miguel is not happy about that. The Timberwolves, they lead that series 2-1. So right. And of course, it is these series in the first round of the NBA playoffs. They are best of 7. So it's the team that gets to 4 wins first that will win the series. All right. And then, of course, there is a game going on now. The Heat, they are currently playing the Cavaliers. Cavaliers, they're currently leading 64 to 49 in that game. The game is now in the third quarter with 7 minutes and 53 seconds to go. And if you know what is so interesting, right? In terms of basketball, and I said I had to share this as I watched the Celtic game, the Celtic versus Magic last night. There was like 1 minute and 15-ish seconds to go in that game. And let me tell you, that 1 minute and 15 seconds play in terms of basketball probably lasted 5 to 7 minutes, literally. And that is what makes basketball so interesting. The stops and the challenges and just everything just makes a game that is really, if it was run fully, would only be a 1 hour game turn into 2.5 hour games. And if the game go overtime, then even worse. That for me is what makes the the NBA interesting. I mean, of course, basketball as well, but the NBA specifically. Of course, the games coming up. Grizzlies will play Thunder at 2:30. Clippers play Nuggets at 5 o'clock, and the Warriors will play Rockets at 7:30. This is now game 3-4 in the series. So you're right. So all the games now are now at game 4 in their series. Right. So and then tomorrow's game, Timberwolves, they'll play Lakers in the early kickoff time, 2:30. And then Magic will play Celtics at 6. Bucks will play Pacers at 8:30. And the Heat, they will play the Cavaliers at 6 o'clock. So yeah, as I said, interesting times as it relates to the NBA. Now is the the business end of the NBA. So yeah, we'll keep you posted at what is going on. I mean, by the time we speak next week, we should have started the semi-final round of the NBA playoffs. So we're gonna go for a second break right here on Sports Talk. We'll be right back.
Jamaica's gangs are like packs of rats. They live in filth and try and drag us all in there with them, spreading the disease of violence and corruption everywhere. But like a pack of rats, they can be eliminated with your help. If you have information on gangs, call Crime Stop on 311. This message is brought to you by Crime Stop and their marketing partners, Lime and NCB.
CC Winans brings her More Than This tour to Jamaica, joined by Chevelle Franklin, Kevin Downswell, Prince Saj, Jean-Marc Wigan, MCs IT and Nadine Blair. Tickets are going fast. General 6,000, VIP 20,000, VIP 32,000. Limited time offer now. Get your tickets at select locations island-wide or online at SpurOpen.com. Follow at More Than This Jamaica on Instagram for more details. CC Winans, More Than This, King's House, East Lawns, Friday, August 1. Are you ready?
The largest gathering of the youths in the New Testament Church of God on April 25 to 26 will be the 26th staging of the National Youth Congress under the theme Solid Roots Nurturing 5G Youths. Join us as we celebrate 100 years as a church. Come out on Saturday, April 26 for the Ignite Worship Fest at 5:30 p.m. Hear the ministry of Kevin Downswell, Rhoda Isabella, Prince Saj, Jean-Marc Wigan
At the National Convention Center at Rodents Pin, Old Harbor.
Come for the fun, the fellowship, sports, and worship.
Every Saturday, 7 p.m. to midnight on Love 101. You're invited to travel in time with music at its best. It's the Gospel Music Machine with the Gospel Music Master, Nigel Wilkinson. From your favorite choir music to Christian contemporary, a touch of reggae and the Caribbean feel.
Gospel Music Machine with Nigel Wilkinson.
Nigel play the tune.
Yep, the Gospel Music Master is still playing the tunes down alone. And he's definitely your music master. Saturdays, 7 p.m. to midnight. You won't regret the link. It's on the family station, Love 101.
That is all I need.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM, and we switch our attention to some track and field. Last weekend-ish, well, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right? So 4 days, or Jamaican track and field youngsters under 20 and under 17 would have participated in the 2025 Carifta Games. And of course, Jamaica finished atop of the medal table for the 39th consecutive time. Can you imagine? 39 times out of, I believe it's 50 somewhere. I don't think it's a lot. But for the 39th time, Jamaica finished atop of the medal table at the Carifta Games, finishing with 78 medals, just 6 shy of their 84 last year. Now, Jamaica won 30 gold, 27 silver, and 31 bronze. The Bahamas, they came second with 37 medals, 16 golds, 13 silvers, and 8 bronze. And Trinidad and Tobago, they were third with 25 medals, 9 gold, 6 silver, 10 bronze. Now, this was a 52nd staging of the Carifta Games, and it was kept at the Hazley Crawford Stadium in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, the championships, very, 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 very exciting championships. Actually, was Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I don't know how Friday popped into my head, but anyways, right. Jamaica's Kamari Kennedy, who attends Calabar High School, he was named as the, I'm going to remember it, Austin Sealy. Right. Austin Sealy Award winner for Carifta Games. Of course, the Austin Sealy Award is given to the outstanding athlete of the meet, Kamari Kennedy. He Of course, he broke two records, one in the boys under 17 shot put, and as well as the under 17 discus. And of course, that earned him the prestigious Austin Seeley Award. Right. So I just want to talk about a few things in terms of for the character games now. Shania Douglas and Bahamian Egan Neely, they ended the championships with four medals, two from individual races and two from relays. So they were like the top athletes for the under 20. But of course, the performance of Kamari Kennedy really, really stood loud and tall. Not only just for Kamari Kennedy of Jamaica and Shania Douglas of Jamaica, but there were so many good performances that came from the Carifta Games last week. And I know, having started the championships, if you were following the championships, very when the championship started on Saturday, especially going into Saturday evening with the 400 meters, I didn't even know at that time, or couldn't even imagine, that Jamaica would have ended the championships on 78 medals. That is, yeah, because I mean, in the 400 meters, I'll just give you a recap. So in the 400 meters for the 20 boys, Jamaica was slated to come 1-2 with the pair from Kingston College there, Messinia Rose and Tasha Marquise White. Of course, they were winners at the ISA Boys and Girls Championships. The race started. What sounded like a second gun, but wasn't a second gun. So Taj Marquise White, he stopped when Rose got to him, got to where White was. Obviously, White was telling him something. When Rose looked around, the race had already, like, nobody else was stopping. He tried to catch those person. That didn't happen. And so right there and then we just lost. We just lost two medals. And I mean, for the rest of the evening, it was very interesting how the rest of the evening went. And then in the girls under 20 100 meters, Sabrina Dockery, she was disqualified for false start in the girls 100 meters under 20. And I mean, so Saturday kind of, was a little shaky, and persons were saying, oh, the rest of the Caribbean is coming for us. And I was like, one thing I don't understand is that I would want the rest of the Caribbean to come for Jamaica. Not like in a bad way, but I'm just saying, if it is that our team continues to be dominant, that there's no fun. There's no fun in a one-sided competition. There's no fun if a team is gonna dominate all the time. And I think, yes, Jamaica still dominated the medal table and even the but overall the performances from the other Caribbean islands were outstanding for me. As I said, Egan Neely winning 4 gold medals. He did a very good job in I believe it was 200, 400, 4x1 and 4x4 for under 20 boys. There were other good performances. There were other championship records broken at the games. So I like when the Carifta is competitive, and there were other teams too that, I heard Bahamas saying that they were coming to hopefully finish at top of the standard. That didn't happen, and that's not gonna happen in my opinion. Once it is that the Jamaica's team, the depth of the Jamaica's team will continue to allow us to get medals here and there and finish first and second, because I wouldn't say we are head and shoulders over the rest of the Caribbean as related to track and field, but we are in some instances better. And obviously coming out of the structure that we have in terms of the ISA Boys and Girls Championships, etc., etc. And to think that there were some missing persons. I mean, athletes would have done well at the ISA Boys and Girls Championships, but because they wanted to, or their team or their school was looking to participate in the pen relays, which is currently happening, right? Some teams had to make a decision, and one of those teams was Heidel. Heidel had to make a decision on some of their team whether or not to send them to carry the trials or not. Carifta trials to end up at Carifta Games because they know that Carifta Games would have been last weekend and they would be in Philadelphia, or this weekend. So that might be a lot for some of the athletes. You get me? So it's just that, but it was good to see Jamaica doing well. But it was good to see the competitiveness of the other countries. Now, 20 of the teams, I don't remember how many teams right now, but 20 of the teams, they were able to get at least one medal. And that's just a good thing. Of course, it was good to see like teams like Haiti getting a medal. Aruba, they got 3 medals. And Grenada, they finished with 13 medals, including 2 golds. So when you look across who got gold, from silver, from bronze, it means that if we continue to create this competitive atmosphere within the Caribbean Games, which is Caribbean islands, then it means that when the students matriculate to universities, and whether or not they decide to go pro, that they will have persons, and I'm like, yeah, we competed at the Caribbean Games, that type of thing. So yeah, I mean, as I said, the performance from Jamaica, it wasn't. I wouldn't even go as far to say that it was subpar. It was definitely not subpar. It was pretty much on par. I mean, getting 6 medals less than last year, with what I think is just about, when I compare both teams, team from last year, team from this year, it's just about the same amount of strength that the team had. Yes, did we still have some sort of dominance in the relays? Not as much. I think we won for the 4x4, we won 3 or 4, and for the 4x1, we won 3 or 4 as well. So not a bad outing, not a bad showing for Jamaica at all at the Caribbean Games this year. Of course, while the Caribbean Games was going on, we were told, or informed, that Guyana should have been the next host. So, but since while the Caribbean Games was going on, as I said, the information came out that Guyana would not be able to host the Caribbean Games next year, and so I do believe the Caribbean Games will be heading to the Spice Island, the Spice Island of Grenada. So that would be good. Of course, Grenada ending this championships 13 medals, 2 golds, 2 gold medals, 6 silver, 3 bronze. So it'll be good to see how they will show at home, seeing that the Caribbean Games will be heading to their backyard. But yeah, that's it for the that's it for the Caribbean Games. Fantastic performance by the Jamaica team. We say congratulations to the team, to the coaching staff, to the support staff. It takes a lot to move so many young people from one point to the next. But of course, Jamaica having the biggest contingent, I know it's always interesting when you're trying to move in the entire team, or members of the team, from hotel to training camp, training ground, back to competing, to get them back and ensure that everybody's rest and recovered. It's a whole production that happens. So we say kudos to the coaching staff and the support team. Yeah, we're gonna go for a final break right here on Sports Talk. Oh, we come back. We still talking about some track and field. Yeah.
Stop buying expensive toner cartridges. Global Ink is now selling new factory direct generic toners. Remove factory seals, install and print. Engineered to work first time, every time. Certified for use in HB and Brother printers. Worry-free, affordable printing for your peace of mind. Money saved is money earned. We deliver island-wide. 754-7444 or 1-888-NEED INK. Never run out of toner again. Global Ink.
The largest gathering of the youths in the New Testament Church of God on April 25 to 26 will be the 26th staging of the National Youth Congress under the theme Solid Roots Nurturing 5G Youths. Join us as we celebrate 100 years as a church. Come out on Saturday, April 26 for the Ignite Worship Fest at 5:30 p.m. Hear the ministry of Kevin Downswell, Rhoda Isabella, Prince Saj, John Mark Wigan
at the National Convention Center at Rodenspin, Old Harbor.
Come for the fun, the fellowship, sports, and worship.
Thank God for Calvary. Thank Him for
Hearts and Hands invites you to a fundraising concert for Reverend Glenn Graham. He has given us songs that have kept us going through the years.
when you run from the preacher man. 6 men.
And now it's our turn to lend a helping hand. Join us on Sunday, April 27 at 6 p.m. at the Maypen New Testament Church of God for this fundraising venture.
I've got a happiness in my soul.
Come and see Lubert Levy, Fabian Wright, Sebastian Braham, Prince Hall, Glenn Cruz, Zazan, Venetia Stone, Oliver Ashley, Derek McFarlane, Tarsha Williams, Edwin Myers, Mr. Handsome, and more. MCs Nadine Blair and Markland Edwards. Admission, a love offering of $2,000. It's the fundraising concert to help our brother, Reverend Glenn Graham. Sunday, April 27 at 6 p.m. at the Maypen New Testament Church of God. All of us for one of us. Let's do this. See you there.
A Love 101 endorsed event.
Yes, I believe in good for.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. And of course, we're going to go right into the results from, all right, which one should I, you know what, since Pens is still going on, or the Pen Relays is still going on, let's talk about the results from this morning's Diamond League. Of course, Jamaica had one winner this morning. No, two winners this morning in the Wanda Diamond League. Right. Right. The Diamond League. Caroline, thank you so much. But yes, of course, the first winner on the day today came from, I'm going to tell you shortly. But yeah, this Diamond League is in China. So I do believe, because, let me see, this week's Diamond League was in China. They stay in China for next week's meet, and then the world relays will then happen. So yeah, so I mean, it's happening right there over in the eastern parts of the world right now, because I do believe that the world relays will be in China as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, about the world relays, I was realizing, do you guys see the stacked Jamaica team that will be at the world relays? And I was happy to see the team, honestly, very happy to see the team. Very happy to see that the some of our big stars, if not all, maybe 90% of our big stars will be participating in this year's world relay is very, very good. Of course, to see that. And it just means that we are learning from some of our mistakes, right? It's good to see. It's good to see that we're learning from some of our mistakes. Let me call it that. I'm gonna call it mistakes or mishaps, because we certainly had mishaps at the World Relays last year, because of whatever miscommunication. So themes things seem to be good now. So we are hoping that it will stay that way. Right. It will stay. What? Hello? Right. That it will stay that way for time to come, right? All right. So, in terms of winners, the Jamaican the first winner today was Danielle Williams. She won the women's 100-meter hurdles in a time of 12.53 seconds. She was the only Jamaican in that race. Her season best before was 12.70 seconds. So coming into this, she did a new season's best of 12.53 seconds. Now, in the triple jump, right? Because I'm like, we had two winners today. In the triple jump, Jordan Scott, he did a personal best jump of 17.27 meters. Coming into this meet today, his personal best would have been 17.14 meters. Now his personal best was 17.27 meters, and he won the men's triple jump. We had other Jamaican participating today. I'll tell you about that. I know we had two in the long jump men. So Wayne Pinnock, he finished fifth in the long jump with a jump of 8.0306 meters, with Cheje Gale finishing eighth with 7.90 meters. Right. And then we also had a world record in the 3,000-meter hurdles final. Karsten Warholm. So the 3,000-meter hurdles, 300-meter hurdles rather. Wow, 3,000, right? 300-meter 300-meter hurdles is one of the events that they are or have approved to be added to meets. So normally you would see the 400 meters, but they also now do the 300-meter hurdles. So Karsten Warholm, he broke the world record, set a new record of 33.05 seconds in that event. We also had Rowan Watson in the 100 meters. And I'm going to tell you, I think he came eighth or something like that. Right. He came ninth with 10.31 seconds. And of course, Hansa Parchment, I'm yet to see that race. And you might be wondering why I'm asking that, because I'm yet to see the race with Hansa Parchment and Grant Holloway, because Hansa finished ninth in that race, 13.49, and Grant Holloway finished 10th in that race, 13.72. Like, the result doesn't make any sense to me, and I didn't get to see that race. But I'd love to know, there must be some hurdles or somebody fell or something, because I don't see none of those two men kind of running that time. Kind of interesting to see that that's the time that they returned. All right, so now on to the pen relays. Our Jamaican high schoolers have been doing very good at the pen relays, as they normally do. It is always Jamaica versus the USA, always, always, always. So in the Championship of America, I just want to go to the results. So the Championship of America high school boys, that race yesterday was won by Calabar in a time of 39.79 seconds. The team of Jamal Stevenson, Shaquin Gordon, Jijan Swain, and Kamani Gordon, they finished first. The second place was Archbishop John Carroll School from the DC area, and Kingston College. They finished third. The other Jamaican schools There were other Jamaican schools in the race. Excelsior finished fourth. Edwin Allen, they finished fifth. JC finished sixth. St. Elizabeth Technical, they finished seventh. And William Lib, they finished eighth. And then we had the Championship of America 4x4 relay. That race was also won by a Jamaican team, Kingston College team of Jubalani McLeod, Markel Smith, Rashawn Lee, and Marcinio Rose ran a time of 3 minutes 5.93 seconds. Second was Bullis High School with, of course, their superstar or their Olympian Quincy Wilson, who I think who ran 43.99 on anchor. That's crazy time. Let me see if I can see it here. Yes, I do believe his 43.99. That was his anchor leg run. Interesting. Very interesting run there. By Quincy Wilson rather. Calabar, they were third in that race. Excelsior fourth, JC fifth. Stets got disqualified from the race. And then I know today the girls should be participating. But before we get to that, I do believe some of our teams also participate in the 4x8. KC was the best place 4x8 team, finishing sixth. And Edwin Allen, Calabar finished 10th in that race. And Edwin Allen, they finished 11th in that race. Over to before I get to today's happenings, I also want to highlight some of our athletes who would have taken part in the field. I know the girls' discus was won by Nahajda Seymour from Excelsior. Abel Mills rather from St. Catherine, she was second, and Jamelia Young was third from Clarendon. Right. And Merle Grove's Abigail Bennett was fourth. Let me see. There was also another Jamaican, Ramona Fremantle, finishing sixth. Right. I think those are the only Jamaicans that participated in that. But good to see we have another winner, not only on the track but also in the field. In the girls' high jump, girls' shot put, Kimika Smith was the best placed Jamaican in that event. And then I want to go to the girls' high school long jump. Chloe Palmer, she was the best place with 6.3. She came second, Jamaica. And Rohana Solo from St. Catherine High School, she was third with 5.88. Dejane Bruce from Edwin Allen, she was fourth with 5.82. And then in the triple jump, that was won by Jaden Dawkins of St. Jago. Jaden, this is our third time winning the triple jump at the pen release, which is a fantastic feat if you ask me. Of course, I do believe it was Kingston College's four in a row winning the boys 4x4 event. All right, let's see. Today I just want to tell you in terms of the races to come, because these races have not been run as yet. In terms of the finals or teams that have made it to the finals in the high school 4x1 Championship of America, Jamaica will be represented by Hydel, Edwin Allen, Wilmer's Girls, and Homewood Technical, as well as St. Mary High. So all those teams will participate in the 4x1 Championship of America race. And in the 4x8 will be represented by Alphonsus Davis, Homewood Technical, and Edwin Allen. And in the 4x4 will be represented by Homewood, Edward Allen, Hydel, and Immaculate. So those races will come up, after we get off air. But yes, it's always good to see our high schoolers, participate in international meets, and there are other meets that they will participate in. But yeah, good going by the Karftiki team, good going by our high schoolers. And of course, Diamond League, so say the senior season has begun. Right. That's all the time I have here on Sports Talk for today. You can join me every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. This has been Sports Talk.